Now at 6:30, the House of Representatives passes President Donald Trump's major domestic policy bill to mixed reactions.
We came here to do big things.
It attacks children and seniors and everyday Americans.
New details on the narrow vote along party lines.
Plus,
that is really diminishing and impoverishing the opportunities that Ohio University students might have.
Ohio Senate Bill 1 proposes major cuts to academic programs across Ohio universities and is leaving students and university faculty scrambling to adjust.
And the first group of detainees arrive at the facility Trump calls Alligator Alcatraz. Newswatch starts right now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Charlie Ehlenfeld.
And I'm Courtney Smith. Welcome to Newswatch.
It's been a bright, sunny day here in Athens, but will it stick around for the holiday weekend?
For more, let's turn it to forecaster Steve Nedlick.
Yeah, guys, we are well on our way to a beautiful holiday weekend, as right now, we really don't have anything going on the radar. And here in Athens, we've hit 90 degrees, but that humidity is nowhere near what we've been seeing recently, so we've had some pretty dry but very warm air starting the day today. Now that's been seen pretty much all over the place, 88 in Columbus, again 90 here in Athens, 86 in Wilmington. So we've all been kind of getting these nice warm temperatures just in time for the holiday weekend. Tonight, we're not going to have much clouds in the area, so that's going to allow for a lot of what we call radiative cooling. It's just going to allow all that heat we got from the sun throughout the day to just escape right back out into the atmosphere. So that's going to allow for our overnight low to dip into the low 60s, so it could be a chilly one tonight. So we'll maybe just bring a hoodie if you have any evening plans. Tomorrow, pretty much the same thing, a high of 91, and again, we don't have any clouds, so it's going to allow that ground to heat up, but once we get to the nighttime, we're going to see our temperatures start to dip back down, but again, mostly sunny skies, so stay tuned for my full forecast where we look at the weekend.
New details on the investigation of a Michigan woman's death in Hocking Hills. 69-year-old Shelley Van Dyke was hiking with her friends Tuesday when an uprooted tree fell on her. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources says Van Dyke was hiking on the Lower Rim Trail in Conkle's Hollow State Nature Preserve when the incident occurred.
6 people are facing charges in connection with a drug trafficking ring. The arrests are a result of an 11-month investigation. The Meigs County Sheriff's Office says search warrants were served in Gallipolis, Pomeroy, and Mason County, West Virginia, Tuesday. Law enforcement seized cash, illegal drugs, and firearms at each of the locations. Of the 6 people arrested, 4 are facing felony drug charges, including possession of drugs and trafficking drugs. Dozens of programs at Ohio University may be eliminated under Ohio Senate Bill 1 that took effect June 27th. Newswatch reporter Ty Carpenter has been following this story and joins us with more. Thanks for joining us, Ty. Could you walk us through what it means for public universities across the state of Ohio?
Yeah, Charlie, so universities must cut programs that award fewer than 5 undergrad degrees a year, on average over 3 years, and that count begins with the bachelor's degrees being conferred at the end of the coming school year. And looking at data from 2021 to 2023, 38 programs in Ohio University alone could be eliminated unless their numbers increase.
Are there any exceptions or avenues a program can take here?
Yeah, so universities, they can apply for a waiver or attempt to at least merge programs to meet that threshold, and it's already starting to happen. In a Facebook post from meteorology professor Ryan Fote, we know that many majors in the geography department here at Ohio University are going to be merging short term.
Right, so how are faculty reacting to this?
Well, I spoke with religious studies professor Lauren Leibarger, who told me that while some programs are small in terms of majors, they still enroll a lot of students for general education, and that's not really being considered here.
But it's arbitrary, right? It's a failure of really thinking more broadly about what different programs contribute to the curriculum.
So Charlie, it begins to get more complicated for smaller niche fields.
Well, if they merge programs, could they lose their focus?
That's the concern. You know, supporters argue that the bill promotes job creation and that maintaining those small programs is a waste of public funding. But Leibarger worries that this might come at the expense of students.
We want to be responsible with that and only give that money to, quote, successful academic programs. I mean, that I just see that as really diminishing and impoverishing the opportunities that Ohio University students might have otherwise in the curriculum.
So SB1 has been in effect for about a week now, so we're going to keep track of how universities react.
Thanks, Ty. WOUB is your source for news in Southeast Ohio. You can read Ty's full story on our website at woub.org or download the WOUB app. Under the new state budget, all Ohioans under 21 will be required to take a driver's ed course before getting their license. As of now, driver's ed is only required for 16 and 17-year-olds. Governor Mike DeWine says the provision is meant to make young people safer drivers. Last year, the Ohio Traffic Safety Office reported 58% of fatal car accidents were caused by 18 and 19-year-olds. The budget includes state grants that will help low-income students pay for driver's ed courses.
The House of Representatives has passed President Donald Trump's mega bill, following the intense pressure campaign from the White House and the president himself. A group of House Republican holdouts fell in line overnight and agreed to move the president's mega bill and agenda forward for a full vote. The multi-trillion-dollar bill is now on the way to the president's desk to be signed into law. Michael Yashanda has the latest on the story.
A deeply divided House passing the Senate's version of President Trump's mega bill.
Nobody said it would be easy. But you know what? We didn't come here to do easy things. We came here to do big things.
A group of hardline GOP members who had threatened to block the sweeping tax and spending cuts legislation eventually falling in line, following an intense campaign from the White House and Republican Party leaders. The president reportedly promising fiscal hardliners concerned about trillions being added to the national deficit that certain provisions for green energy tax credits would be phased out.
What those holdouts were doing was exactly what we were all doing. We are advocating for our district.
Democrats denouncing the bill. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries speaking for hours, delaying a final vote.
I'm going to take my time and ensure that the American people fully understand how damaging this bill will be to their quality of life.
The multi-trillion-dollar legislation would unlock tax cuts and funding boosts for national security, partly paid for by the largest cut to the federal safety net in decades. Tax breaks and changes to the tax code could benefit corporate America, manufacturers, and high-income Americans, while low-income Americans could be worse off due to the bill's historic cuts to Medicaid and food stamps. A ripple effect could also hit the healthcare system, especially rural hospitals, and roughly $3.4 trillion is also projected to be added to the deficit over the next decade. In Washington, Michael Yoshida reporting.
The Environmental Protection Agency places about 140 employees on administrative leave. This comes days after the employees signed a public letter critical of the agency. They raised concerns about the treatment of federal employees and the Trump administration's climate and public health regulations. The agency said it is conducting an administrative investigation into the employees who have been put on leave until July 17th. More than 270 people, including around 150 EPA employees, signed the original letter.
The first group of detainees arrived today at what's being called Alligator Alcatraz. The temporary migrant detention center is at a training airport in Florida with the capacity to house thousands of migrants. They will live in repurposed FEMA trailers and tents. The project has sparked backlash from immigration rights activists, environmentalists, and the state's indigenous community. A news release by Democratic lawmakers who tried to inspect the grounds called the facility inhumane political theater that endangers real people. It's unclear if they were allowed inside. The Trump administration is standing firm on its immigration policy of self-deportation throughout the country. The administration is fighting new requests from lawyers of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who say he was tortured while confined in an El Salvadorian prison. In court documents, Abrego Garcia's legal team alleges he was beaten, received inadequate nutrition, and was sleep deprived. Meanwhile, the Justice Department argues that this case is moot since Abrego Garcia has returned to the U.S. Abrego Garcia is currently in federal custody in Tennessee as he faces human smuggling charges.
The issue of LGBTQ rights will be front and center at the United States Supreme Court once again this fall. The High Court agreed today to decide whether states may ban transgender students from playing on sports teams that align with their gender identity. The decision to revisit the issue comes after justices recently upheld a ban on gender-affirming health care for trans youth. West Virginia Attorney General John Muskie is optimistic about the case.
This isn't about polling for us. This is about fairness. And the reason is so intensely common sense that it's easy to make this argument, right? Everybody can see the difference between what a man and a woman can do on an athletic field.
The case will likely be decided early next summer.
Coming up, find out what 4th of July festivities are near you. More on local news when we come back.
And with millions expected to hit the road this weekend, here's what you need to know before your holiday weekend road trip.
We're setting up for a beautiful weekend. Stay tuned to see if the sun sticks around for your weekend plans next.
I think you need to brace yourself for this, sir. I get straight to the matter. Please do.
Is there anyone you didn't invite?
You're welcome.
I can't leave a puzzle unsolved any more than you can.
But what happens if she's wrong?
She's been right about everything else. A man gets murdered, and seemingly impossibly, his murderer escapes.
Politics is all about knowing what hand to play and when to play it.
Sunday on WOUB.
For some of us, the struggle never ends.
I know he's not easy to work with, but now I need you to step up.
You're not looking for one killer, but two.
You don't believe that a death can be transformational?
We're probably dealing with a psychopath.
We have to catch who's behind this.
You should have called me.
I did.
Yes, you did. I must have ignored it.
On Masterpiece Mystery.
No! It's my neighbor. I think someone's shot him.
Mrs. Potts, I can't have you interfering.
Judith Potts.
Susie Harris.
I'm Bex Starling, the vicar's wife.
I'm trying to find out who killed my neighbor.
And you've decided to have a little poke around.
Every time I see you, there are more of you.
We're not going to stop investigating, are we?
You couldn't have just started a book club, could you?
The Marlowe Murder Club on Masterpiece Mystery.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us? You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend, because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. Vehicles like me can bring significant funds to public television. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax-deductible. Woohoo!
If you're looking for local events to celebrate the 4th of July with your friends and family, Athens County has plenty in store.
Newswatch reporter Talia Milowich joins us live on College Green with a look at what's ahead this weekend. Talia?
Charlie and Courtney, we are just moments away from the final Under the Elms concert of the season. The Comm University Band will be playing the music of John Philip Sousa, but that's only the start of 4th of July celebrations this weekend. After tonight's show, you can head to Athens' annual fireworks display. The fireworks will be set off near the Pepsi bottling plant close to East State Street. There will be parking and viewing locations along East State Street, including the Market on State and the soccer fields by Walmart. The show starts at 10 p.m., but you might want to get there early to grab a seat. The celebration continues tomorrow in Nelsonville with the 30th annual Thunder in the Valley Fireworks Spectacular on the Hawking College campus. Parking and vending areas will open at 5 p.m. WSEO will also be broadcasting music during the fireworks, so you can bring your own radio and tune into the show. As you guys can see, there is a lot to explore this weekend for the 4th of July. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Talia Milowich in Athens.
With Independence Day only one day away, many Americans will be traveling, barbecuing, and watching fireworks displays.
But these celebrations come with a cost. Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the amount of people expected to travel this holiday and how much they can expect to spend on everything from food to gas.
The 4th of July, a time to gather around the grill, enjoy the summer sun, and watch firework displays light up the sky. It could also mean getting stuck in traffic on your way to your destination, with an expected 61 million people set to hit the road.
Most of those people are going to be driving to their destinations, and that's usually the case. Typically, whenever we look at holiday travel, the overwhelming majority drive because it's easier, it's cheaper for people, it affords more flexibility.
With July 4th gas prices at their lowest since the beginning of the pandemic, drivers will feel a little less pain at the pump.
We're paying about 30 cents less than we were this time last year. We haven't paid gas prices this low since 2021.
Air travel, too, is taking off.
We're projecting a record in the air travel category, more than 5.5 million people, 5.84 million.
But so are the prices. AAA says round-trip domestic airfare for this period is up 4% over the last year due to demand. And if you're hosting that backyard barbecue, the price of food has mostly leveled off. A meal for 10 people with all the traditional July 4th offerings will cost $130, up 2.2% from last year, according to Wells Fargo. The higher overall prices are primarily due to beef and egg inflation, the bank says. Your best bet for grilling on a budget, chicken, up only 1% over the last year. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
So, Steve, if I'm driving home this weekend, will I run into any rain that can make the traffic worse?
You know, it looks like we're going to steer clear of that rain, so any commutes you might have to make this weekend should be pretty dry. And even right now, we don't have any rain in the area. We're sitting at 90 degrees, so we're already kind of off to a spectacular start to our holiday weekend. And we've kind of seen that all over the place. So no matter where you're going in the state of Ohio, it's going to be pretty warm for this weekend, and that's really because we've had so much sunshine that's moved into the area, because we haven't really had much cloud cover overall to really block out any of the sun. We did have those puffy cumulus clouds earlier that everyone loves, but we haven't had anything that would really block off any of those any of that sunshine. Now, additionally, we haven't had really any rain to come into our area, so nothing coming our way right now, and nothing currently over our region. So we're really looking to have a sunny, cloudless start to our holiday weekend. Now, a big reason for that is this high pressure that's kind of just parking itself over our region. It's going to move a little bit, but it's not going to go anywhere very fast. So these conditions are kind of going to be set up for our weekend. Now, tonight, again, no clouds, and that's really would act as our blanket, and that would help us keep some of this heat in that we'd receive throughout the day. But since that's not there, we're going to cool off, and we're going to have all that heat start to radiate back into the atmosphere. Tomorrow, almost a rinse and repeat, but I mean, you can't ask for better weather for the 4th of July. It's going to be wonderful to sit out and watch some fireworks go off. High of 91, low of 66, and mostly sunny skies, so pretty picture perfect. Now, again, if we look at tomorrow, our friends up north might have the chance for some rain dropping into the area, some scattered rain, but nothing that's going to ruin any plans, because once we look at the 24-hour mark from here, tomorrow night, it moves out of the area. Their skies are going to clear up, so they don't really have to worry about that. We definitely don't, because that high pressure is going to be parked almost directly over us. Now, this is where it starts to get a little interesting. Saturday, the high pressure moves a little bit to the east, and the interesting thing about this is we get clockwise rotation around this high pressure, and that's going to start pulling up some of this moisture, and that's unfortunately going to up our humidity levels with our air temperature. So we're going to start getting real feels back up to 95, close to triple digits, maybe not quite triple digits, but it's going to be a pretty warm one after we get past the July 4th, so 5th and 6th are looking pretty muggy. Overall, we're going to be running a few ticks warmer than average this time of year, 83, 84. So it's looking to be pretty warm for this holiday weekend, but we're going to avoid the humidity for the 4th, and that's when it's going to start moving in on Saturday. But if we look at the 7-day, we're pretty lucky with the first start of this. We don't have much rain other than, again, those scattered showers more up north. But then that front comes in. This cold front moves in on Monday, and that's going to slowly drop our temperatures back down, and we're dealing with rain chances Monday through Thursday, and we slowly start to see those temperatures drop back down. And then we're hoping to see a little bit of a rebound as skies begin to clear as we head into the weekend next week. Back to you guys.
Next, if you're planning on setting off your own fireworks this weekend, the Athens Fire Department has a few ways you can keep safe.
The Ohio Art Corridor is a destination experience. We would like this to be the largest outdoor art gallery in the world.
Portsmouth was able to field an incredible team for a brief moment in the sun that almost was sweet enough to get them a national championship.
We got land granted to us in Ohio. Great opportunity. Let's go. How would you know you got here? It was just sheer determination and patience and just hard, back-breaking work.
The bridge was acclaimed at the time of being an engineering marvel.
Progress is all about taking the lessons of the past and doing better. So I would hope that now that we know better, we will do better.
For more than 70 years, WOUB Public Media has been the place where people in our region turn to learn how stories of the past ignite the imagination of the future. It's where information, entertainment, and education work together to inform, enlighten, and inspire generations. It's the place where the community gathers to hear and see our world in new and innovative ways. WOUB, the public media you trust that's worthy of your support.
We're on the precipice of a great discovery.
I love it.
Welcome!
Whoa,
Nelly! Let's set this palace on fire.
I love it.
Welcome to the News Hour.
What does it mean politically?
I love it.
Oh. Fasten your seatbelt.
I love it.
I love it.
Delighted to hear it. You make a good team.
If you're planning on starting off your own fireworks this holiday weekend, the Athens Fire Department has a few ways you can practice fireworks safety. To avoid injury, experts say you should only buy fireworks from reliable sellers. Wear safety goggles and avoid having any part of your body directly over a firework when lighting them. If your fireworks don't go off immediately, officials say not to relight them. Instead, you should wait 20 minutes before dousing them in water. Most importantly, if you're setting off fireworks, officials say you need to be aware of your surroundings.
The 4th of July can be a scary holiday for dogs, and the day after is the busiest day of the year for animal shelters taking care of runaway dogs. That makes pet safety a priority this Independence Day. The American Humane Society advises to make a safe space for your pet inside with the windows closed and shades drawn to reduce noises and flashing. Your pets will be less affected if you can tire them out before the fireworks. If you know your furry friend does not like loud noises, try not to leave them alone during celebrations. While the 4th of July is a great day to enjoy friends and food, experts say there are safety risks with that very food. Every year in the U.S., there are an estimated 48 million foodborne illnesses and 3,000 deaths. Mandy Gaither has more on how to keep your food protected.
Get ready to celebrate, but if you're planning to get together over food for July 4th, watch out for bacteria.
If you're not safe or careful, they can make you sick, and we definitely don't want our 4th of July festivities ruined by foodborne illness.
Meredith Carruthers with the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Service says there are 4 steps to take to help keep food safe. First, clean. Keep your hands, utensils, and surfaces clean before, during, and after you prepare food. Next, separate. Keep raw meats away from other ready-to-eat foods to avoid cross-contamination.
So using a new utensil as you're putting raw food on the grill, and then using a new utensil before you take the cooked food off the grill, not using the same one.
Third, cook. Make sure that meat you're grilling reaches the right temperature. It'll vary based on what you're preparing. Carruthers says using a food thermometer is key.
Grilling makes food look done before it actually is. A lot of times on the grill, we love those grill marks, am I right? So making sure you're using a food thermometer will help you make sure that your food is fully cooked.
Finally, chill. Don't leave food that can spoil out for more than 2 hours at room temperature. That time is cut in half if you're outside in high heat. Keep this in mind for leftovers.
If they have been out for longer than that, they would not be safe to keep. So unfortunately, we would recommend throwing them away at that point.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The July fire.
Still ahead, competitors are gearing up for a mouth-watering 4th of July tradition. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest returns for the 109th year in a row, and a standout competitor comes with it.
The Renaissance is endlessly conflicted and violent. And once you start to mix art and money, it's a lethal cocktail.
Michelangelo knows that he is going to be judged.
When it's finished, Leonardo moves to a new level of fame.
Raphael is going to steal Michelangelo's legacy.
Rivalry is embedded within the Renaissance.
Tuesday at 9 on WOUB.
Can you feel the moment?
The American Revolution changed the world.
With a story unfolds.
Everybody had the sense of possibility worth fighting for.
What took place here still leaves us in awe.
We can work towards equality together.
Wow, this is the missing piece. Incredible.
To confront these figures from ancient history is a great privilege.
Art history tells us who we are, where we came from.
And it's all connected.
Like links in a chain.
Like links in a chain, yeah.
All I can do is say thank you.
Wow, this is phenomenal.
I'm really grateful for this.
This July 4th, join us for the 45th anniversary of a Capitol 4th. Celebrate our freedom and independence and those who defend it. Join our host, Alfonso Ribeiro, with the Beach Boys, Josh Turner, The Temptations, Lauren Daigle, Trombone Shorty, Abby Carter, Locash, Yolanda Adams, and the greatest display of fireworks in the USA, live from the U.S. Capitol. It's a Capitol 4th.
Friday at 8 on WOUB.
A meteorite known as the last piece of Mars on Earth will go up for auction later this month. The 54-pound meteorite called NWA 16788 is one of 400 Martian meteorites ever found on Earth. Sotheby Auctions House says the rock size is what makes it so unique, as most Martian meteorites found are just small fragments. The meteorite is expected to sell for up to $4 million. It's up for auction on July 16th.
In addition to fireworks and baseball games in the backyard, July 4th is also known for a legendary competitive eating event in New York. The Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest is set for Friday. On Thursday, the official weigh-in for the competition happened, and a familiar face, more specifically a familiar mouth, returns for the event. Joey Chestnut is seeking his 17th mustard belt at the annual gut-busting get-together on the Coney Island Boardwalk. He was banned last year due to a dispute over his sponsorship deal with a company that makes a plant-based hot dog. The 41-year-old Chestnut owns the world hot dog eating record when he gobbled 76 hot dogs and buns in 2021. He'll make his comeback attempt tomorrow at noon. Well, you know, great weather this weekend coming up. So what are your plans? What are your plans?
I'm heading home personally. So, but if you have any barbecue plans, especially tonight, it should be a beautiful night to do so. An overnight low of 64 degrees and clear weather. And then as we head into the actual 4th of July weekend, nothing but sun and warm weather until the rain starts to return at the beginning of next week. And then we are looking at rain chances all the way throughout the middle of next week.
That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.
Newswatch will return Monday. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. Enjoy your holiday weekend and have a great night.
There's nothing more American than PBS.
It's a safe place where kids learn and grow, and where grown-ups are informed, entertained,